Boond Soch ki ttalk, train of thought, with a series of episodes what we have with the experts from the industry. We try and invite the various prominent personalities on this ttalk show to share their experience. With their experience, we draw some meaningful learning out of it. Like in each and every, I think normally we are through with around about 275 episodes which are live, like, and we touched upon the various aspects of an life, like let it be leadership, entrepreneurship, young achiever, or it can be women empowerment, education, all the relevant sector we touched upon. Like, and today on this platform we are having Baljeet Gujral, normally who was a dreamer, doer, and the entrepreneur in India. So welcome to ttalk ek Boond Soch ki.
Thank you, Dr. Chima. It's my pleasure to be here.
Good, great. In fact, when we talk in terms of entrepreneurship, which plays a key role in the economic development of a country, the key factor which fights against the unemployment and the poverty, and to prepare ourselves for the globalizations in order to achieve the overall Indian economic progress, we need to have more and more entrepreneurs so that they can contribute towards the overall development of a country and can take care of an issue which is in hand about an unemployment aspects which are there. Now in fact many a times we are there in the comfort level, we never come out from a comfort zone, and we are there with 2 punch and 1 lunch. There's 9 to 5 concept which is there. And in fact, if you really need to contribute towards the overall economy of a country, you need to ensure you take the path of an entrepreneurship. Brief introduction of Mr. Baljeet Gujral. He was born in a chawl and raised in a mid-income broken family. A living example how an ordinary people can achieve an extraordinary feats in life. From being a modest Mumbai boy, Baljeet today has become a dreamer, doer, entrepreneur, and a storyteller. He is an author, he is a business coach, he is an active speaker. And in fact, a couple of initiative as a startup, what he has launched was an India's first adventure lifestyle company, Enfield rider. And second one was a bucket list, and also he is an author of a prominent book called Entrepreneurship Essential. So welcome again.
Thank you so much.
This ttalk ek Boond Soch ki. I think we have just gone through your profile. It's very interesting, and many a times I think we hesitate to come out from the comfort zone. And now for the benefit of our ttalk audience, I think I would like to narrate something, if you can narrate something about your experience from your education to the start of your career life.
Thank you for the kind introduction, Dr. Chima. It's really a pleasure to be here at ttalk. So yeah, of course, I would like to start with my humble beginnings. I was born in Mumbai and spent my early life here for the first 16 years, and then I moved for my education. So I think traveling to different cities in India for education actually started giving me an out-of-box thinking. Mm-hmm. So while I spent my first 16 years in Mumbai till my 10th standard, I did my 11th and 12th plus 1 and plus 2 from a small town in Karnataka. It's called Bidar. Mm-hmm. It's also very popular area for like a defense area, Air Force area. We also have quite a large community of students there coming from different parts of the country for education. Mm-hmm. So it was basically a small educational hub, and I did my plus 1 and plus 2 from there. Mm-hmm. And then post that I actually appeared for the All India entrance examination. Mm-hmm. And I actually couldn't get through the IITs, so the joint entrance examination was my first failure. Mm-hmm. I couldn't make into it, but the next pit stop that I had was, I said, let me try for the next level, which was National Institute of Technologies. Mm-hmm. At that time it was called as Regional Engineering Colleges. Mm-hmm. So I appeared for that All India entrance, and I made through to Jalandhar, and where I went to do my BTech in engineering. I chose civil engineering as my subject, and that is where I spent the next 4 years of my education. So from Bombay to Bidar to Jalandhar for 4 years, and once I finished my graduation, then I applied for my masters in Oxford, and then I went to Oxford to 2 years to complete my masters. So the almost the 8-9 years journey in various parts of India and internationally, I think that gave me a completely different exposure to think out of the box, and that's where my beginnings were.
Okay, now in fact, I think you did your engineering in civil construction and all like it.
Right.
Was it your decision or you were forced to that qualification? Like,
So actually, this is early 2000. I think in those times, 20 years ago, we didn't had much of a thought process of what to choose and what not. I think during those times, the best subjects or the best streams to choose were computer science, electronics, mechanical. To be honest, I mean, like, it was not out of choice, but out of what availability I was getting based on my ranking. And I chose, the only thing was I wanted to pick up a REC, which was probably one amongst the top ones, and those were the only options were available. A couple of other branches, and I picked up civil engineering.
I see. Many a time, like what we have seen, you get into particular profession, but later part of your career, you want to change gear to some different field altogether. Like,
Absolutely. I think what happens is that at the initial years of your educational career, you're not. I mean, like, at least to most of the people that I was studying with, most of us didn't knew what would be the next step. Some of us wanted to go for higher education. Some of us wanted to grab the first job that came into the campus, whether it was in any stream. So, I saw my friends who were in mechanical engineering applying to IT companies because they felt that an IT job would be great career to choose upon. So I think, that's how the structure has been for many years in India that I had particularly seen, which is now slowly changing with IB boards coming in. I see kids nowadays and students nowadays are very, very clear with what line of profession they want to choose, where do they want to proceed further. I think that's a great clarity of thought. And to be very honest with you, in our times, actually, we didn't had that clarity of thought. It was the best thing available at that time. What we felt we should just grab, we grabbed it.
I see. And what attracted you to the field of an adventure?
So that was something which was very close to my heart since very beginning. I was very, very passionate, and adventure travel was almost like a hobby for me. So I remember I bought my first motorcycle in 1999, 2000, when I had just finished my college. And I remember when I was doing my engineering at REC between 2000 to 2004, every time we had a semester break or a mid-term break for a week or 10 days, I used to pick up my motorcycle and just ride outside 200, 300, 500 kilometers outside the city.
Nice.
Travel, at that time we didn't had like the luxuries of Google or a TripAdvisor to recommend you where to stay. So everything was on the road. You go, you ask for directions, you find homestays to stay, and that's where the initial passion of adventure started on motorcycling, and that stuck to me for many years. I will like even after I finished my engineering, when I was in UK, I did the same thing. When I came back to India, every break that I got, it was dedicated to adventure and specifically motorcycling.
Correct. Anyway, like nowadays, if we'll see, like normally when we talk in terms of B school, they prepare their career plan, faculties are there after them, you make a roadmap or map, put your goal set, what you want to do, in which sector you want to get into.
Right.
What was there in your case like? Any thought in your mind on those lines?
So actually I was very clear. So I came from, as you rightly mentioned, I came from a very small, family which had limited means. For me, the only thing that I had in my mind was to get a secure job or like a secured income. And at those times, I saw that banking and finance was one domain which, like the so-called white-collar job that we had, which was high-paying. So I chose that route. Despite my educational background, I thought this is something where I should probably move into and probably make a career out of it.
Okay. Now I think this is a brief what we are just capturing. Now, what are the challenges you have faced in reaching this milestone where you are today?
I think challenges are a part of everyone's journey, and I think in my journey, if I look back, the challenge and the blessing, which I would say is together, is I had no one to guide me. I didn't had a mentor, I didn't had someone to actually give me a direction. So that was challenging, but now today when I look back, it has been equally rewarding because I could carve my own path and take my own decisions, fail at it, and then choose another path and say that you have to move on. So I think to reach this milestone, being by myself and taking decisions without any mentoring and guidance has been quite a challenge and a blessing in itself.
You're more fearless. If you don't no mentor and all, you're finding your own path, then you're more fearless.
Well, I would say God has been kind, and I think I realized this at a very early stage of my life that there is nothing to lose. I mean, like if you come from zero,
correct,
you'll always go back to zero. So there is nothing to lose. So where's the fear, right? And I think that's where my decision making capabilities and my ability to actually take risks came from. That I was never scared of losing anything.
Oh, I see. Now we are carrying a story of Mr. Baljeet Gujral, a dreamer, a doer, and an entrepreneur in India. I think he has chosen his field. Maybe he's turned his dreams to a reality by strengthening his foundation as for the education which are concerned. No doubt, born in a chawl and raised in a mid-income broken family, but how an ordinary people can achieve an extraordinary field in their life, from being a modest Mumbai boy where he is today. Basically these are the kind of a story which inspires our ttalk audience. It's a very interesting, insightful. I'm sure we're going to catch up with Mr. Baljeet Gujral on our next ttalk Ek Boond Soch Ki. So thanks a lot for making to this first episode of ttalk Ek Boond Soch Ki.
Thank you. It's my
Thank
pleasure.
you.
Thank you so much.